Everyone is welcome. We are all united as Republicans, and we will support former President Trump in this moment of not only survival and duress, but progress toward the future.
And not only is it about unity, resolve is a word I heard several times today.
Without question.
Senior party operative who's been at conventions like this since the 1970s. He says, I've never seen people so resolved, so focused on winning in November, believing that what transpired yesterday can really slingshot the party into some kind of a victory. And the other thing he pointed out, he said, there has been so little chatter now, not even that much interest or concern about who he picks as his running mate, because there's the belief that whoever it is, it may not matter, he may be able to pull this off.
I want to bring in political correspondent Caitlin Huey Burns, who is outside here where the Republican National Convention is being held. And Caitlin, I know you have an update on some of the security precautions that are being taken. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Nora, as you can see behind me, there are barricades up, and there are 2 security zones guarding this area. What you see behind me, that's what's known as the red zone or the hard zone. That is protected by Secret Service. Where I'm standing is still part of the broader security perimeter outside the convention, but this is what's known as the soft zone or the yellow zone. What's significant here, Nora, is that Wisconsin is actually an open carry state, and firearms are allowed where I'm standing right now. They are not allowed behind those gates behind me because that's protected by Secret Service. But Wisconsin state law prohibits the city of Milwaukee or local jurisdictions from banning firearms. The Secret Service protects that area, so they are not allowed there, but they are allowed here. And that has come up. I was at a Secret Service briefing earlier today, and the Secret Service overseeing this convention where about 50,000 people are expected to come said they have no plans to expand that Secret Service perimeter, that red zone, and that there are no real threats at this point. Nora.
All right, Caitlin Huey Burns, thank you. Also want to bring in Scott McFarland because he is still in Butler, Pennsylvania. He was there covering the rally where there was that attempted assassination attempt. And Scott, what's the community talking about tonight?
Nora, this transcends politics here. Butler County wants to ensure nobody else has anything close to a shared experience. They're talking about their children. Kids already have to deal with lockdown drills and worry about school shootings. We as parents have to warn them about who they talk to in their own neighborhoods, what they see on a computer. And now we have to explain those images and this tragedy to children. There's talk about summoning our better angels. It is modeling better behavior for our children and ensuring they don't have this worry too. They should be enjoying the joyful periods of their lives.
Scott McFarland, thank you for your coverage over the past day. We appreciate it. Finally tonight, the last 24 hours have been one of the most unnerving in recent American history. A presidential candidate, the victim of an assassination attempt. This is something many have never witnessed before. On Saturday, the political rhetoric turned violence. We do not yet know what the shooter's motive was, and we may never get all the answers. But one of the questions tonight, could this be an inflection point in the country's history? For 2 sides of the aisle who may not agree on much, there's one theme we've seen since last night's events. It's time to turn down the heat on the rhetoric, with both candidates for president calling for unity. Now, earlier tonight in a rare Oval Office address, President Biden called on Americans to cool tensions. He told voters to come together and resolve differences at the ballot box, not with bullets. With 114 days left until the election, some lawmakers are reminding the country it is important to remember we are Americans first, not Democrats, not Republicans, Americans. Our coverage is going to continue on CBS News 24/7, your local news, and for those of you in the West, on a special edition of the CBS Evening News. And stay with us right here throughout the week. We are going to have full coverage of the Republican National Convention every night at 10 o'clock Eastern right here on CBS.
Okay, so let's just start at the beginning.
Well, let me start with this.
What is at stake